the Muslim community, because they have that option. And even if you take the matter, let's say a matrimonial matter, based on a marriage or a breaking marriage under Muslim law, the High Court will have to apply the Muslim law regarding that matter, whether it is succession or matrimonial. So either way, you are running. Now the Constitution has given you that best option.
Right.
If you don't feel like going to Qadi's court, still you can go to another court of law.
But at the end of the day, it is the Islamic law.
And it is you who will lose. It's not the Constitution. The Constitution has given you, and that is the nature of law. It is always very flexible. It
So
won't
we should
tie
try
you.
and strengthen the Qadi's courts.
Maybe I feel here obliged to explain something here. One, we have Islamic family law is recognized as one of the laws in Kenya. It's recognized by the Constitution of Kenya. Then the Qadi's courts have been given the mandate or the jurisdiction to handle these matters, marriage, divorce, and inheritance, but not exclusive jurisdiction. My learned friend there will tell you, what we mean here is that he doesn't have the monopoly. The Qadi cannot say, I am the only court that can handle Muslim matters. It is a subordinate court. So the High Court can also handle it. But even when you take your matter, for example, I am a Muslim, I want to take my inheritance matter to the High Court, not to the Qadi's courts. The substantive law that will be applied by the High Court judge sitting there will be again Islamic law. Because if you look at chapter 160 of the laws of Kenya, that is the law of succession, it has an exemption for Muslims. For those who profess Islamic law, the law of inheritance that will apply is the Islamic law. But now it will be, the matter will be presided over by a High Court judge, whether a Muslim or a non-Muslim. Again, he will have to call an expert. He will call in an expert. And that's why the Qadi was saying, maybe the Chief Qadi will be called there as an assessor to assist the High Court judge, or 2 other Qadis will be called there. So in fact here, the bottom line here is that people need to be educated about their rights. Because once they know their rights, even the Qadis will be alert. They will be put on their toes. People know their rights. And litigants, when they go to the Qadi's court, they will know exactly what they are going for. And they will know that whether I go to the Qadi's court or I go to the, unless you want to renounce Islam, and I know this is now something else, unless you, but even if you go to the Supreme Court, the law that will be applied, the substantive law, the procedure laws, of course, will be there, the civil procedure laws of Kenya, but the substantive law will still be Islamic law. So the Qadi doesn't have exclusive jurisdiction. The High Court or any other higher court can handle that matter.
The Qadi's court doesn't, bar lawyers to come there, whether they are Muslim or non-Muslim. They are free to represent their clients. So, but in sitting, we have the system doesn't allow that. We don't have the jury system like other, systems. Here it is one man presiding, like the High Court, even the High Court. It is only one High Court judge who sits there. Unless there is a need, then the Chief Justice will appoint 2 judges bench, 3, up to 5. So that is upon the Chief Justice to do that. But the subordinate court and the ordinary sittings of the High Court sessions, it is only manned by 1 judge.
And who are you answerable to? I think that was the question. Are you answerable to somebody? Are you answerable to somebody in the way you conduct yourself in court? That was the question.
Yes, yeah. I'm answerable to the registrar of the High Court. Yeah. As I said before, any complaints should be lodged or should be raised to the registrar. Then the registrar will inform the Judicial Service Commission. They will sit and take. They will listen, or they will hear that problem and take decision. We are answerable. We are very subordinate. We are under the registrar of the High Court, and we are employees of the Judicial Service Commission, and we are bound by the regulations of the judicial and the ethics of the judiciary.
Thank you.
Maybe before the you can tell us how many Qadi's court you have at the moment, and your future plan? When are you adding? And the budget?
Okay, so far we have 17 caddy stations, caddy spots, with 17 caddies, including the chief caddy. And any additional, there are plans. Even the retired chief justice had a plan, to open a caddy spot in Kilifi, and there are plans also to open new caddy stations in Machakos, areas where they need caddies court services. So there are plans, but they are all, based on the Judicial Service Commission decisions. If they want to create more or to add more, it is up to the Judicial Service Commission and not the chief caddy.
So at the moment you don't have the budget?
The budget?
Of adding?
No, I have no mandate. As I said, we are subordinate and we are all answerable to the registrar and the entire JSC.
To clarify the question that was raised about the Kadi courts, I think what we need to understand is that the Kadi courts work within the ambit of the judiciary. It's not separate from the judiciary, and details about how many there will be emanates from an act of parliament, because the constitution says there shall be a chief Kadi and such number being not fewer than 3 of other Kadis as may be prescribed under an act of parliament. So it's legislation then that dictates how many there will be. But a person who can be a Kadi, a person shall not be qualified to be appointed or hold or act in the office of the Kadi unless the person A, professes the Muslim religion, and B, possesses such knowledge of the Muslim law applicable to any sect of Muslims as qualifies the person, in the opinion of the Judicial Service Commission, to hold a Qadi's court. So just to clarify that we need to understand that the Qadi's court is not separate from the judiciary. It is a subordinate court within the judiciary, and then is housed therein, and is all issues or pertaining to the judiciary are in chapter 10 of the Constitution.
Is it afternoon? Good morning. It is still good morning. Yeah. I don't need any preamble now because I've already come here and I've spoken to you. Quickly, I want to go to the challenges that face women in as far as accessing justice in the Qadi's courts is concerned. I just wanted to share with those of you who are not, the lawyers we are accused, we refer to each other as the learned colleagues. Those of you who are not learned colleagues, we found it that way. So it's not me and Maingi who came up with that statement. Just to share with you that the Qadi's courts in Kenya is established under the Constitution of Kenya. Article 170 of the current Constitution establishes the Qadi's court. So it is a court, as our sister Maingi said here, that has been established by the Constitution under Chapter 10. And Chapter 10 is about the judiciary. So don't look at it as something else parallel to the judiciary of Kenya. It is part of the judiciary. It is a subordinate court within the judiciary. Then the jurisdiction of the Qadi's court, you remember the debate during the constitutional review process, during the time of Yashpal Gai, the CKRC, where I was a commissioner, and currently, when the committee of experts were trying to come up with a new constitution, you remember the debate that it generated, that it is going to affect other people, it is discrimination against non-Muslim communities and the rest. I'm happy. At the end of the day, Kenyans decided we can retain that court there because it has a very limited jurisdiction. Can I take somebody to the Qadi's court because he has refused to pay money he owes me? The answer is no. It has very limited jurisdiction. It only deals with those matters there. Marriage, divorce, and inheritance. A clarification here. The Qadi is not there to conduct marriages. It's not his core business. And I'm happy I know the sitting Chief Qadi's stand on some of these things. He is number one, a judicial officer. He is supposed to administer justice there, not to conduct marriages. He conducts marriages as a registrar, because we know he doubles up also as a registrar of what is wrongly called Mohammedan marriages. I'm not a Mohammedan, I am a Muslim, but I don't know